All right, I think we're ready to go. So I listened to several trainings on objections leading up to tonight because I really wanted to make sure that I had some good information for you guys as opposed to just what I do, because I wanted to make sure that I had a wealth of information to share. And I found one that was like an hour and 20 minutes long by Bonnie Engel, and it was so good. I actually screenshotted her slides from the YouTube video, and I have all of them saved. So I am going to post those onto Barbells after this, but I'm going to share my screen. So when I'm going through it, hopefully, I don't know if they're going to come up in the right order because they're screenshots, but I'll go through it. But that way I can kind of show you guys as we go through. So let me share my screen. All right, can you see it?
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Okay, so kind of just starting off, she just went through like a little spiel at the beginning that I really liked. Obviously, as coaches, we're gonna get objections. If there's a coach that's not getting objections out there, I don't think it exists. We all get them. We all get the ones about money, about time, about, God knows what. People just disappear. So we're going to kind of go through like each of the most common objections one by one. It's not surprising. People are very tight with their money. If they don't believe wholeheartedly that this is going to change their life, they're going to give you some kind of an objection as soon as they hear like what they actually need to do. Like, it's not surprising. And I've had a lot of people give me objections that then end up changing their mind, or maybe it ends up being down the road. But just know that like it's super normal. It's not anything that you're doing wrong as a coach. So don't take it personally if you get an objection. It's not something that you're doing wrong. It is just something that is part of the person that you're talking to. It is a defense mechanism for them. It has nothing that says you are a bad coach. Absolutely not. And it's not something to just give up over either. Like a no might just be a not right now. Like there are so many people who might be like, no, like finances are super tight, but that person might be a yes in 3 months. So like keep building your business. And I know Carl had that challenge for us when we were at Summit, to go for 100 no's that month. And I mean, I easily get well over 100 no's every single month. Because that just means that you're talking to more people, and that just builds up your follow-up list for the months to come. Because if you don't have people to follow up with, then you're never going to have a continuous business. You're just going to end up giving up too early because it's rare for people to say yes right away. Usually it's on like the second, third, fourth, fifth, sometimes 20th follow-up that someone finally ends up signing up with you. Okay, so I want to make sure that I have these in the right order. I think this is right. Okay, so most common objection that I know probably every single one of us gets is that I don't have enough money. This is easily the most common objection. One thing that's not on here is if someone is very, very, very much financially struggling, tell them that there is the quarterly option too. Bonnie did say in her presentation that she doesn't allow anyone in her challenge groups if they're not on Shakeology. I know that that's not really the case for all of us. We do have people in our groups who are, maybe they were and they're not anymore. Obviously, we believe wholeheartedly that it's what you need for your nutrition, but getting to that later. So break down the cost is the first thing. This is something that I do with all of my customers. So this being number one is something that I'm doing already. I know a lot of you guys probably are too, is break it down month by month and how much you're spending on a gym membership, how much you're spending on your breakfast, how much you're spending on your vitamins, how much you're spending on, like probiotic, how gas money to get to the gym, like God only knows, babysitters, if you need to go to the gym and pay for a babysitter. There are so many different things that add up. Or how often are you going to Starbucks or going to fast food? Like there are so many things that people are spending money on that are complete money wasters, time wasters, you name it. So if you break it down and say like, well, for $99, you get 12 months of workouts. So how much are you paying for your gym membership currently? And I mean, there are some of the gyms that are like $10 a month, but think about most of like the bigger gyms. Those things can cost like 50, 60, 70 bucks a month. But someone doesn't want to front $100 for a whole year of workouts. And I'm like, 800 workouts. Like, it's freaking ridiculous. So I don't understand. The second part is, well, for 160, you get Shakeology and the containers and the one-on-one support. So Shakeology by itself is normally 130. So for an extra 30 bucks, you're getting all the workouts and the containers. So if you break it down by price point, divide it all out, like here, I'm going to break out my calculator for this one because I do this a lot. So $99, 12 months, $8.25 a month for a gym membership, basically 800 workouts. So an extra, let's say the containers are worth an extra 10 bucks. And then that would break it down to a bag of Shakeology for $50. That's hardly anything. It's $1.67 for an entire meal and replacing all of your vitamins for an entire month. $1.67 per day. So if you think about it that way, what are you putting into your body already? If you have a protein shake already, are you eating crap in the morning? Like maybe it is cheap breakfast, like cheaper than $1.67, but is it actually fueling you? Is it actually keeping you healthy? Is it actually satiating you for the entire morning? Like there are so many different ways that can go. Someone might say like, sounds great, but I don't have the money right now. This is where your story really comes into play really well. Maybe you didn't have the money when you first signed up. How did you make it work? Did you end up starting to save money on your grocery bill because you were taking more time for yourself and meal planning? And and the groups, they're helping you with meal planning and they're helping you with recipe ideas. And I mean, I know personally, like we have cut our grocery bill down by like easily 30, 40 bucks a week. And that pays for so much of our like shakes basically. And Alex and I are both on Shakeology. So that's not cheap every single month. And it's easy to pay for because we're so careful with our grocery budget. We don't get fast food ever. I mean, if you think about when you go to get fast food, that's like $5 or $6 per meal and it's crap. So again, insert your own story into this one because that's definitely something that will really relate to you. Worst case scenario, you can say this is kind of more of a coaching objection. If you have someone who's on the fence about coaching, they're not really sure if it's for them. Because obviously like getting into coaching, you can either pay the $40 or sign up with a challenge pack. You can say, well, sorry, one moment. You can try it out for 3 months and then decide if it's not for you. What's the worst case scenario? You have some new workouts and you might be a little bit healthier than you were before. Or, I mean, there's always the money back guarantee as well. If it's not working for you, there is a 30-day money back guarantee and nothing is going to, like, you're not going to be out any money if you realize that this was a bad investment after you start. Sorry, I kind of combined those two together. The last one is priorities and comparison. So this one is definitely, you have to word it carefully because some people might not take it very well if you're saying like, well, you're not prioritizing yourself basically, but sometimes it needs to be a little bit of a kick in the face to realize that if you're not taking care of yourself, then you're going to end up sick down the road. There was one kind of analogy that was like, well, if you ended up getting really sick and needed to go to the emergency room, would you decide to wait and go in 3 months when you had the money? Like, no. You need to prioritize yourself now so those things don't happen. And I want to make sure I have a lot of notes, sorry. Oh, it's high cost now, but you can end up saving money now, as opposed to like going to the gym without getting any support. Okay, I think that was all I had to do for that one. Oops. Okay, I don't have the time. This is one that I get a lot because my like niche market, which I know for a lot of you guys too, is working moms who basically like have zero time in the day. First of all, relate your story. Like something that I always do is talk about like the period of time when Alex was living in California. I was coaching, I was an accountant, and I had a colicky baby at home. And I still was able to work out 5 to 6 days a week and work my coaching business as well. Like, do you really not have the time, or do you really not want to mix that show on Netflix that you watch every single night? Like, there are definitely priorities that you can relate with people. Be like, okay, walk me through your day. So this is something that I do with a lot of people who are struggling with the time aspect. I say, walk me through literally from like when you wake up in the morning, what time you wake up, when you leave your house, what you do in between that time, how long you're at work, do you have any gaps, are there any times that you're just like scrolling social media, and when you get home from work, what is the timeline until you go to bed, and when do you go to bed? And I have them walk me through their entire day, and I find the gaps of time when they could exercise. Or if it's talking to someone about coaching, then I find out when they like can actually find time for coaching. Because you'll be amazed. I mean, if you're talking to these people on social media. So if you're talking to them on social media, they're on social media. So like I always laugh at the people who respond to my messages like right away all the time, and we'll have a 45-minute conversation, and I just want to be like, you could have worked out twice in the time that we just talked on social media. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, you do have the time to work out. You just need to prioritize. Number 2, the time part, this one is relating more to the coaching objection for it. We have a lot of trainings teaching people how to do like their power hours. So you don't have to like spend an entire day working on your coaching business. Number 3, our workouts are designed for that. I mean, we have 10-minute trainer. I have a lot of people who start with 10-minute trainer until they feel comfortable getting their workouts into their schedule. Like I have one girl who her schedule is absolutely ridiculous, and she has 2 kids that are on opposite nap schedules right now. So she literally has like absolutely no time where she's by herself, and she knew that she could get her kid to sit still for 10 minutes for her to start with 10-minute trainer. And then she worked her way into T25. So like we have those workouts that are so much shorter. And like, think about if you're going to a gym, how long is the commute to the gym? Then you have to go to the locker room, and you might need to stop by the daycare, and then you have to go upstairs and you get on the equipment and whatever the hell you're doing for an hour, and it's not effective. And then you have to drive home. By the time it's all said and done, that could be like a 2-hour ordeal. So like, no, I don't have time for that either. So the next one is, do I need to get that shake? Shakeology, I can get a lot of people who are like super willing to sign up for Beachbody On Demand, but they're like, I don't really want to do Shakeology. I'm drinking this one that I get from Target. It's fine. And it's like, first of all, do you know what's in that shake from Target? Because I don't really know if you actually read the label, or if you did read the label, do you actually know how to read a label? Like, what are the ingredients? Like, there's so many binders and stuff in there. There are a lot of ingredients that they throw into those shakes to make them cheaper. It's not a nutrition shake, basically. The first one is geared more towards a coaching objection. If you have a coach who wants to sign up, who is not wanting to sign up with Shakeology, that is more of a, do you want to try and tell people to buy something that you're not drinking yourself? Like, that doesn't make any sense. But number 2 is really where you're going to get with your challengers. This is, if you want them to get the best results, they need to be doing everything with the nutrition, the workouts, everything. Like, we can't physically be in their house and be like, did you eat all your green containers? What about the orange? Did you cheat on your yellows? Like, you can't sit there and like handhold everyone. We can't be sous chefs all over the country. Like, it's not a thing. Um, sometimes I think people wish it was a thing, but I'm not going to do that. So in order for us to be able to say like, yes, you're going to get your best results, we need to know, are they getting their best nutrition? And we don't know if they're getting their best nutrition if they're not drinking Shakeology. So if you have someone coming to you saying like, I haven't lost any weight this week, and they're not on Shakeology, or if they're not hitting any of their goals, or they don't have any energy, or they might be dragging all day long, like that might be the problem, is because they're not getting their Shakeology. And if you prioritize to do everything, you will get your best results. I mean, like those test groups don't lie. Last one, it's a better deal. Because obviously, like, if you break it down, this goes back to like breaking down the price point. Challenge packs, it's a way better deal than being able to like just buying like Shakeology 3 months after you sign up for on demand, whatever. Breastfeeding pregnant, this one, always direct them towards their doctors. I do always tell them that my doctor approved it as my full prenatal. I just had to add in folic acid. Because Shakeology only has, I think, 200 milligrams folic acid. And when you're pregnant, they want you to take, I think, at least 600 or 800. So that was the only thing I had to supplement. But I do always tell them to check with their doctor first, just in case. Excuse me. Okay. This one is a coaching slide. She was kind of all over the place, so sorry if these are like kind of back and forth. I wouldn't be a coach. One of them, number one, I'm not at my goal weight. I have had this conversation with several people before. I always say that it's so much better when people can share their journey on social media. This is like, no one relates to someone that's perfect. Like, people see some of those, people out there with huge followings, and they see that they're like super fit, but people are scared to reach out to them. But if you're on your journey too, and someone sees that and be like, wow, I can really relate to that person. Like, I'm struggling working and having kids and getting fit, and like this person is making themselves a priority. So I want to talk to them and see what they're doing. Number two, I'm not a salesperson. Obviously, like, sales is disgusting. But we have so many trainings. Obviously, we do this in New Coach Academy. How to not be salesy, just share your journey. And I don't have a very big market. This is something I didn't know, but I think she said like, oh wait, no, that was introverts. Like, most of the top coaches came from like having absolutely no following at all on social media when they started. So like, she said she only had 200 people. I know Mindy Wender is from like the boonies and had like 40 friends when she started as a coach. Like, it's all on social media. There's so many ways to find people. Like, Jill and I are doing that social team builder training right now. Like, there's so many different ways to find people that are cold market without having to have a giant following before you start. Okay, this one is something I love. So you've been talking with someone, they're super excited, and then they completely disappear, and you can tell that they've read all of your follow-up messages because you can see their little face instead of just a check mark next to your message. So they have read your messages and they're ignoring you. And it's not like it's just happened once, it's happened more than once. And dear God, this happens to me all the time. The first one is asking for feedback. So saying like, sorry if you weren't ready, or if there was anything that I said that may have turned you off. I just want to know if there's anything that I could have explained better, or if there is anything that I could do to be like better at my job, basically. So asking for feedback on the conversation that you have had with these people. And that way the ball is back in their court, but it's not pressure on them to buy something. It's just asking them for honest advice on the conversation that they had with you. And this is where a lot of their objections might come out, like, no, I just like don't think I can afford it right now. And that's where you might be able to actually start having legitimate conversations about what the real problem is, instead of just like not talking to someone anymore. I am like It's so dry in my house. I've had like 47 cups of water today. I don't know what's going on. Relate to their why. So obviously this is something you should be doing anyway. When you first start talking to someone, talk to them about their goals. This is when you should be getting to their why. And if you really relate it back, be like, I know that you're wanting to do this for your family. I know that you need to lose XYZ pounds in order to, feel better in your wedding dress, whatever it may be. Or I know that you are wanting to have more energy to play with your kids. Relate what you can do for them back to their why. And then they might see that and they might be able to start responding because they're not just getting a message from you that says, you're right over there, Jill. Whoop. Oh, shoot. Oh, God. I didn't like this next one, so I'm not even going to go there. The next one is referral. I have actually I've done this quite a bit too. And it is super helpful. Just say like, hey, I know. What? Like, I know this might have not been a good time for you. That's totally fine. Maybe I can follow up with you. Oh, shoot. Am I cutting out? Is it pretty bad?
It's better now.
Okay. I just got a warning. My connection was unstable, so hopefully it's better. So the referral is just saying like, I understand it's not the right time for you, XYZ, whatever it was that you guys talked about. But if you have any friends or family that might be interested, I love getting some new fresh faces in my group. I would really appreciate a referral if you do know of anyone. Again, takes the pressure off of them, and don't take it any offense if they don't have anyone to refer you, like not a big deal. And then always ask if you can follow up. That's something that like, I have people who tell me, like life's crazy, whatever their objection may be, price isn't right now, and say, that's totally fine. Is it okay if I follow up with you in 30 days for my next group? And they'll either say yes or wait until April or whatever. I just put that in my tracking and caps at the beginning of my like comment section. I say like follow up in, and then whatever month they told me to. So I know very easily when I'm supposed to follow up with those people. Okay. Sorry, I told you these were in order. I don't understand social media and I don't want to post on Facebook. So I don't get this one that much. This is about coaching, obviously. I don't get this one as much, but the not wanting to post on social media a lot, I totally get this. I only wanted to post pictures of like, where I was going, like my kids, whatever. But it's just saying like, you're going to be on social media anyway, scrolling through pictures and doing whatever. So why not use that time and make a little bit of extra money for your family instead of just aimlessly wandering through social media? What will my friends think? Basically, if you have people who are going to be judging you for what you're posting on social media, they probably weren't that good of friends anyway. And then she has said social media is the future. Like everyone's getting their news from social media, like, which is probably not the best, but it's true. Like everyone basically learns everything that they know from social media. And then kind of the people who keep going back and forth with new excuses every single time you talk to them. The I'll talk to my husband thing is big. I get this one a lot. I actually have several coaches who are like potential right now that are talking to their husbands. One thing that you can do is say, I totally understand. And this can go for challenge packs. This can go for coaching. This can go for whatever. Just say, ask them, first of all, when they're planning on talking to their husband, because they might just say that. But if they're not actually like gonna do it that night, like you have no idea when to follow up with them. And also say like, you can always just try it out for a few months. If it's coaching, if it doesn't work out in 3 months, there's no cancellation fee. Like, no harm, no foul. You got a little bit healthier. If it's the challenge pack, we have the 30-day money back guarantee with everything. So, I mean, there really is no like issue if you aren't sure if it's going to work out, because there is always the way to get your money back. I'm an introvert. She said 6 of the 10 top coaches are completely introverted, which I know is true. I'm introverted naturally too. And I mean, you're hiding behind a computer screen. So technically it's not like you're going door to door trying to sell vacuum cleaners. Like, you don't need to have to be like super crazy big personality. Because I mean, like I said, you're just connecting, and people who are introverted a lot of times have an easier time connecting with people on a more deeper emotional level, which is exactly what we need to do as coaches. I already drink another protein shake. This is a super common one that I get from a lot of challengers. I kind of got into a little bit of this before, but Shakeology is not just a protein shake. It's designed to give you like complete nutrition. It is all of your servings of fruits and vegetables for a day. It's a probiotic. It takes care of like any kind of multivitamin, like we were saying earlier. And if you are drinking a protein shake from like GNC, Target, whatever, again, you don't know what the hell is in those things. And sure, it might be like an all natural one, but what are the percentage of the daily vitamins that you're getting in there? Or like, is it really the best bang for your buck as far as like complete value? Because that's what we need to show, is the value of Shakeology and how it is worth the money because of everything that it can do for your health. And share your story. What has Shakeology done for you? Has it gone from you having intestinal issues to like being regular? Like, you can say things like that. I know for me, like, I was able to completely quit drinking pop because of Shakeology. Like, that was the main, I was a huge diet, or not Diet Coke. No, I never drank Diet Pop. Cherry Coke drinker. It was like horrible. Or Dr. Pepper. That stuff's disgusting. And I haven't had a pop in like 3 years. And it's because of Shakeology. Like, share your story, and also know that like we know what's in it. And we have so much research behind it too. So like, if you don't feel comfortable sharing about Shakeology right now, go to like Darren O'Lean, and he has an entire website that you can look at. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. Or you can listen to the podcast, the Shakeology podcast. There's like 1,000 YouTube videos about the different ingredients. Like, there are so many things you can learn. And then there's a bunch of stuff in the back office too. $15.95 a month as being a coach. I've never had anyone complain about that. So, I mean, if you do, it's for all of the stuff that Beachbody does for us, like all the marketing they put together. I don't know, all the back office stuff. I wouldn't really worry about that. Objections are part of the job. This was just kind of her like ending slide. What are some other ones that you guys have heard? Here, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Oops. There we go. Who chatted? Thank you, Rachel. I was like, I know it's something about superfoods, but I couldn't remember what it was. So what are some like common objections that you guys have gotten? What are ways that you have handled them that you feel like has gone pretty well? Or what are you struggling with? Either way.
My daughter is spinning my chair around in circles. I think the biggest thing I run into is just people don't respond, which I think that's a normal thing to like freak you out and make you not want to message people, because it's just like, okay, I'm annoying every single person I message, even though that's not the case. I get that way a lot, where if I get a streak of people that just don't respond, like, I generally don't contact people I know anymore. It's always people I don't know. So that's a piece of it, because people I know will usually at least say something back, like, you know, thanks, I'm not interested right now, or let me know next month or something. But I've been trying to just kind of stay out of that market and let those, because I know people I know, if they're interested, will come to me. They all know now that this is what I do. So that's the biggest thing, is because I hate sending the same person a message again. Like, hey, remember we talked the other day? Because they'll talk initially. Like, I'm not going to keep sending them a message if they never talk, but I hate when they, like, we have a really good conversation one day about their goals and whatever, and then I loop back with them and I'm like, hey, just wanted to see how things are going. Have you thought any more about your goals? You know, have you made any progress? What have you been doing? You know, whatever. And they just don't respond. And then I try again in a little bit. Hey, I don't know if you got my message. Just want to check in, see how you're feeling, whatever. And they don't respond. And that is probably the most frustrating thing for me right now. And some of that, I wonder if it's because a lot of the people I've been contacting are from the UK. And maybe they're just like not really into it. I don't know. But that's my biggest thing. I mean, if people are not going to spend the money, they're not going to spend the money. If it's just like if it's just an excuse as far as like, I just don't want to do this right now, that's probably they're going to be their go-to. But if they're not going to do it, in my experience, like they either like, I don't know. I haven't had very good luck like overcoming very many objections. Let's put it that way. People will come later, but that's about it.
Yeah. I'm gonna post the slides that I just had, but like some of the scripting that she uses, she said she literally just copied and pasted it, so there's like a decent amount of typos. But some of like the wording she uses in her objections are really good. I did really like the one about like asking for advice, or feedback, asking for feedback from the people who you haven't heard from in a long time, because I feel like that can be a good way to open up the conversation again in a different way. So I'm going to definitely try that one out some more. For sure.
I just wanted to add that I don't know if you go as far in Get Over Your Damn Self, but there's a whole chapter on objections, and it's called I Object. And she goes through all of this, and there's scripting, there's all kinds of information in there. I thought it was really good.
I think that's a good book that a lot of the people on our team should read.
I know. I think it's really good because it's basically written from somebody who's very successful at network marketing. And so she goes through all the stuff we struggle with. And I think like the scripting's amazing in there, I think.
Yeah. I know you, me, and Becca are reading it right now. But yeah, we should see if we want to do like, because that could be fun. We haven't done one in a really long time, doing like a book club.
Yeah.
Because we used to do that where like we'd all read the same book. But not everyone's working on the same things. So sometimes that's like whatever. But that one could be a really good one since it is so focused.
Yeah, I think it's a really good catch-all. Like it's got so many topics that relate to what we're doing that's a great book too, just to keep going back to it. Like, oh yeah, what was that thing? And cut up through that.
Okay, that's a really good idea. Oop. Sorry. Okay. Anything else? Cool. Okay. I will go ahead and post this recording, and I will post all those slides too. And I desperately, desperately need to update the whatever the heck it's called on our team page with all the video links. I apologize. It's the video training library. It's not updated. Everything, if you go to my YouTube channel, they're all there. I just haven't updated the actual links on the thing. So if you just like subscribe to my page, you should be able to find everything. But yeah, if you guys think of anything, just post in barbells. But I think we're gonna have a great month. I know it's a short month, but let's do it. Rock it out. All right. Bye, guys.